Nicolas Anelka, centre forward today, without a goal in 10, but he loves it when he is the main man. That's when he scores his goals. He's back there today. You wouldn't bet against him getting one, and off we go. Terry and Alex passing to one another, and they will be the centre-half combination for most of, if not all of, the rest of this season. This is amazing. They've been dropping like flies at the back for the Blues right at this business end of the campaign, but having said that, United had 9 defenders out once this season, you might remember. On ball forward towards Anelka is cut out by Collins. That's Deco on the edge of the box, Milner helping out, and there's Warnock.
Does make you think, Ben, as you were talking about the central defensive partnership not so long ago. We had an abundance of central defenders, 5 or 6, and people were talking about they could all play. Now we're looking at, well, possibly the bare bones, if that's one way of looking at things. There's a little bit of a misunderstanding between Petr Cech and Alex of there's one Villa a corner, which they shake each other's hands, but well, don't need little mistakes like that. A little bit of pressure,
especially with Aston Villa being the set-piece maestros. Lost up at Villa Park earlier in the season, both goals from corners, and both corners from that side as well. Coming in from Petr Cech's right. Here is Ashley Young into the mix, and that's easy for Cech. Carew didn't even jump, and that was much easier dealt with. There's Joe Cole, lovely touch. Crowd really pleased to see him back in the lineup. What a lovely idea from Deco, it very nearly worked. Malouda was the man almost onto that pass.
It's a big game for Joe Cole today, Ben. He's back in the lineup. He's been quoted as I'll just break off because Nicolas Anelka's having a shot, but Joe's been quoted as saying he needs a run of games, and he certainly does. Time's running out for him here at Stamford Bridge. Hope he has a good one today as John Obi McKelm plays a poor pass out wide
and gets away with it because Ashley Young couldn't control it. But absolutely, it's come to something that we're almost a little bit surprised to see Joe Cole in the starting lineup. Nothing to do with his abilities, but because he hasn't been particularly fancied, it would appear, of late.
Well, many fans, I'm sure, will share my sentiments in hoping that Joe does get a run of games and produces some of the wonderful form that we know he is capable of between now and the end of the season.
There's a lot of England hopefuls on this pitch. Aston Villa have a big English flavour in there. A lot of people on fringes of the squad. Downing and Young and Milner's almost certainly going to be going there. Stephen Warnock is another who might be new Villa left back, new this season anyway. They've slotted in well, those new signings. Villa have kept a lot of clean sheets this season, despite changing most of their back four. That's Deco. Lovely touch. Onside Anelka. Malouda's in the middle. First save of the game for Brad Friedel. First shot for Nick Anelka.
Yes, quite right. What you said earlier, Ben, about Nicolas Anelka, playing as the main focal point of the attack. Wonderful pass from Deco there. Great bit of skill beforehand, and Nicolas Anelka gets the first shot on target. Always good for a striker, to get a shot on target early on in the game.
Burnley away, his last goal. He hasn't played centre forward since, though, it has to be said. So played on a couple. He wants to get back involved. Scored home and away against Villa last season. There's Ashley Young to Milner, banging form, and now Agbon Lahore. The first roar from our left from those Villa fans. Zhirkov doesn't let him get past.
They brought a fair contingent, Aston Villa supporters, away to our left. Relatively vocal, as you tend to find most away fans these days. Must be the atmospherics down to our left.
And Villa have another corner. Pressure on. He says he's happy under it. And he's managed at Juve and AC Milan. Here comes the corner, and again it's easy for Cech. And Martin O'Neill, Carlo Ancelotti's opposite number today, will not be overly thrilled with the quality of those two corners, given how good Aston Villa are from the set play. This is Malouda, away from Collins. What form Florian Malouda's in now. Paulo Ferreira, the right back. And Joe Cole, Deco ahead of him. Ferreira making the run too, and that's where the ball goes. Ferreira only had Deco and Lampard to pick out in the box then. Deco playing centre forward, not quite the stature of Didier Drogba in the middle to aim at, is it?
No, he's certainly not, but you've got to get bodies in the box, and you don't necessarily have to be a big centre forward to score a headed goal.
Malouda. Chelsea throw. Many reasons to expect entertainment. Kerry mentioned the 4-4, that Boxing Day crazy match here. 3 red cards and 8 goals. Chelsea of late have been entertaining here. 4.5 goals per game on average for the last 10. Most of them for the home side. This is Ferreira. Now Anelka's in the middle. Ferreira's won a corner instead. That'll do.
Well, Deco's played 2 wonderful passes. We've only had 5.5 minutes of the game gone. That pass there in behind put Villa on the back foot. Paulo Ferreira winning a corner. But let's hope that's a sign of things to come, certainly from Deco.
Lampard's corner. Alex beaten to it by James Collins. Not often that Frank Lampard's touch lets him down. Another couple of assists and a goal at Portsmouth for Frank in midweek.
Of course, all eyes on the Premier League, Ben. This game, Villa-Chelsea. But in 2 weeks' time, it's a bit of a dress rehearsal for the FA Cup semi-final.
Zherkov tried to shepherd that one out, but instead it's a corner. It is indeed a dress rehearsal for 2 weeks' time. Slightly bizarrely, there's also Tottenham versus Portsmouth today, which will be the other one. Certainly Zherkov with the final touch, and Aston Villa have a 3rd corner of the game. Chelsea won't want to keep giving them away, because you wouldn't imagine they'll continue to be poor delivery. It's Warnock again this time. This time it's Collins, and he did get the touch. It was beyond Carew and beyond the far post. Collins, of course, scored one of those 2 goals from corners in the reverse fixture this season.
Yes, and I'm sure Carlo Ancelotti and his team will be fully aware of their threat at set plays. Collins being picked up by Alex, and in Chelsea's previous corner at the other end, it was the other way round. So obviously the 2 managers have looked at the 2 players who are possible threats and decided that arguably the 2 best headers from each side would mark each other. That's no disrespect to John Terry and Carew and co.
Yes, well, Terry and Dunn is a fairly physical matchup as well, isn't it? Richard Dunn got the other one in that game, actually. It was a 2 centre-halves with headed goals for Villa on the day. Didier Drogba scored Chelsea's. A rare error from Brad Friedel. Horrible one he let bounce in. It was around that period of the season where Chelsea were really leaky from set plays. Abdoulaye Faye got on for Stoke and Bramble for Wigan as well. There was a lot at that time, and Chelsea worked hard on it. Went away a bit, came back a bit, and has gone away again at the moment. Hopefully it stays that way. There's Terry over the top of Ashley Young. Milner forward. Carew. Bon Lahore. Congested, and Lampard watched the ball well. Deco. Lampard straight away. Flag up against Anelka. Must have been tight.
I think it's the correct decision. Linesman on the, or referee's assistant, as they say in the modern game, on the far side. Flag straight up. I think we probably will see a replay, and Frank Lampard playing with ball. Nicolas Anelka was very tight. He looked a yard off one time. We looked at it, but you're quite right, Ben. It was very tight when the ball was played.
Some you get, some you don't. It's one of those, isn't it? But yes, the boots looked level. Maybe a chest poking out from Anelka as he went one way, defender went the other. Young's cross, often dangerous, not on this occasion, and several comfortable catches for Petr Cech so far. Thought about the kick, but instead runs it out to Yuri Zherkov, who has a huge role to play. He's played a poor ball there in what remains of this season. Ashley Cole possibly back for the last couple of games of it. Carlo Ancelotti has said that he of all of them has progressed the best. Ashley Cole, of all of those walking wounded, if anyone's ahead of schedule, it's him.
Be a big plus if he does make it. I thought he was playing fantastic. He was having a great season up until his injury.
More ankle woe this week, this time for Ricardo Carvalho. No surgery for him is the news, but won't be anywhere near that Chelsea bench for a while. Didier Drogba, not often he's on it. How much will Chelsea miss him? We'll only know that at full time. 36 games played for Chelsea this season, 30 goals. Absolutely incredible.
Well, when you're on that sort of total, and have been now, it's just a case of, Didier Drogba thinking on 33, my best ever season. He's going to want to play every game. And little niggly injuries. He's on course for his best ever season in professional football. You want to play and you want to score.
Goal was away from Warnock, but not from Sidwell. This is Ashley Young. Alex for company. Only Carew in the middle, but Milner arriving. Zherkov can let that one go.
There's been, I think, about 5 corners so far. Certainly Villa have had 3 of them, but it doesn't seem an over robust game. It seems more mundane, a bit of a midfield battle. I think just the one save from Brad Friedel from a shot from wide from Nicolas Anelka, but
there's not been a kick, has there? There's not been a 50-50.
There hasn't been a confrontation. It's just like players are waiting to see what's going to happen rather than looking to make something happen.
Echo would like to. He can't get there around James Milner there, though. That's Bonlahor for Carew. John Terry to brush off. This is O'Neill and Ancelotti right on the edge of their box there. Slightly more cautious approach with Steve Sidwell in today for Martin O'Neill, for Stuart Downing, who has been the regular. Alex, who been beginning to play really rather well anyway when Carvalho was absent with a slight hamstring injury over recent weeks. No issues about having him in the side every week. Paulo Ferreira, and likewise Zherkov is now having a little regular run. Of course, out there, and Basingwa. Joe Cole. Bit of keep ball here.
It's keep ball, Ben, but they've not actually gone anywhere. They've made about 7 or 8 passes and 1 tackle. Carew very nearly in on goal. Got to be progressive with your passing for me.
Malouda, Zherkov. John Terry with all those defensive absentees worth pointing out. Chelsea's only ever present in the Premier League this season, the captain. Even Frank Lampard's missed one. Doesn't happen very often. Anelka's ball. Zherkov check, a little bit behind him. Malouda. What a run of form he's in. Deco, lovely spin away from Petrov and Peter Walton, the referee, and Lampard shoots, and Friedel couldn't be certain it was on target. I'm not sure that it was, but needed saving.
Well, he had to make the save, and Frank likes to score from range. I said earlier about Nicolas Anelka getting a shot on target. It's all very well passing. Frank wants to see something on the end of it, and if he has the opportunity to shoot, he doesn't often disappoint. I think that one was going about a yard wide, but as you correctly said, Friedel can't take that chance.
Bonlahor almost sliding one in for Carew.
He's playing rather deep at Bonlahor. I think Martin O'Neill is the reason that this game is pretty cluttered in the midfield areas is that Bonlahor's not playing as a second striker alongside Carew. Martin O'Neill has put 5 across the midfield with Bonlahor down on the right-hand side, probably trying to counter Chelsea's 3-man midfield through the centre. I've got to say at the moment, neither team are on top.
Lampard, onside this time, Anelka. Touch had to take him away from goal. This is Malouda. Why not hit it? That could go anywhere, and it's in! Frank Lampard on the far post. It's a scupper's goal. And Chelsea lead this enormous match, the toughest home game remaining in this campaign on such a big day, with Arsenal and Manchester United playing as well, and it's a perfect start.
Well, I was just going to say about players playing well. Florent Malouda, for me, certainly for the last month, has been outstanding for Chelsea. It was his cross-come shot that had Villa defenders sliding in, Chelsea attackers sliding in, and in the end it was Frank Lampard who'd made the run into the box on the far post, with the slide just getting a foot to it, right foot it was, and deflecting the ball into the goal, unguarded because Brad Friedel was over at the near post area. Just what Chelsea wanted. Well, certainly the Villa tactics will change now. Chelsea ahead 1-0.
Scores a lot of cracking, spectacular goals, Frank Lampard, but he's had a couple of tap-ins this week. Here's Agbonlahor with the cross. Terry clears it. As he nodded in from all of, 2 yards out against Pompey in midweek, Frank Lampard, and now he slid one in there. Just the 18 goals for this season for Frank Lampard, who some people still seem to suggest isn't having that good a season.
Well, if that's not a good season, I thought Frank was playing wonderfully. When the team dipped, he might have just dropped a little bit along with the team, but certainly not having a good season. I think Frank, for me, has been one of our better players, and 18 goals doesn't always tell the story as the cross comes in.
Richard Dunn was up, and it actually didn't get cleared until then when Terry did it the second time, but Dunn did get his head there first.
No, I mean, a lot of the Chelsea players were looking at referee Peter Walton thinking that Dunn had climbed, but Peter Walton giving no such free kick.
He's still got bodies up, and Dunn got that flick there. Carew keeps it in. And actually has made a wonderful pass for Joe Cole, and so much for Villa on the counter. This is Chelsea on the counter. Options coming up with him. Cole couldn't pick out Anelka in the middle, or Malouda. Warnock got in the way.
Pretty tough on that far side trying to pick out Anelka. There's not many Chelsea players in support. Malouda was getting there. We've counted 5 Villa players back. Good pass from John Carew, mind you, to set Chelsea on the attack.
Very generous of him. Malouda. Lampard's run has forced Warnock into conceding a corner. And Malouda and Lampard turning the favour there. It's Frank who set up flow for one of his goals at Fratton Park in midweek. Here comes the corner. Terry the target, and it's a Villa head. It's Carew and Luke Young both jumping for the same ball, and
got to say, rather strange header, Ben. We talk about trying to head the thing away. I think it was Kalou that actually got there and looking to head the ball back over his crossbar. Dangerous practice indeed.
Take 2 from Lampard. Terry again the target, and Alex. Collins got there ahead of Alex. Those two are going to see a lot of one another today from every set play, clearly. This is Mikel. Speaking of assists at Fratton Park, I don't see it that often from him, but that 50-yard ball to Drogba was a peach. Didier Drogba's second. And despite the decent start with the goal, it's quiet around the bridge. Malouda comes forward and does well to keep hold of the ball, and he gets it back from Jerkov, and he's onside. How's the cross? Headed clear by Dunn.
Warm applause all around us in the East End for Florent Malouda's efforts.
How good has he been recently?
He's been magnificent for me. He's been, Didier Drogba would be the only one to probably say in consistency in terms of what he's done for the side of late. Certainly in the last month, Florent Malouda for me has been our best player.
Nice pass from Deco to Cole. Herrera forward, flags up against Frank Lampard, who is now just a couple of goals off third place in the all-time Chelsea charts. Messrs Osgood and Bentley, and just trying to think who's in second. Slightly nervous Kerry Dixon it might be. This one's a midfielder.
Certainly is. For me, I mean, it's absolutely wonderful what Frank has done in terms of a midfielder getting that amount of goals. When you think of the great goal-scoring midfielders, the John Walks of this world, and He got many goals from midfield. Frank's achievements have been outstanding.
Paulo Ferreira. Nice looking pass, and Elka might need some help. Here comes Lampard on the gallop with Agbonlahor. Lampard got the touch there first. Agbonlahor comes away with the ball. Terry in ahead of Carew. The Villa fans want handball. They're not going to get it. Alex.
Martin O'Neill hasn't changed his tactics from what he started out with. Considering Chelsea have gone 1-0 up, I think we'll see a change certainly as the game progresses, but at the moment he's quite happy with what his Villa team are doing. And,
Chelsea fans aren't happy with Peter Walton. They thought Collins clipped Anelka when that ball went through. But yes, it'll be interesting to see if he does move Agbonlahor up to join Carew as this game progresses. Plenty of time left, I suppose. Only 20 minutes gone. Here's Anelka. Deco urged to shoot. He did so. Blocked by Petrov, his captain. Milner. Bit of a blind alley, this one. Haven't held on to Leeds quite so well this season, Kerry. Seen some points dropped at Blackburn last week, having led from early on.
Everton springs to mind.
Actually dropped 16 points this season from winning positions, and there's only one team in the league that have dropped more. Stoke, rather bizarrely, but against Manchester City, both games, Chelsea took the lead and lost a pair of them. Villa, a hard-working side, and they are nobody's fool and no pushover. Chelsea will want 2 or 3 on the board before they can think this is a done deal. Now Peter Walton has blown. Warnock down.
Well, I think it was a case of a little too late for Chelsea fans. Peter Walton hasn't given Chelsea 2 possible free kicks that fans feel he might have done. And then with Chelsea in possession, decides to blow up with Stephen Warnock down on that far side. Here we see clash of heads with Joe Cole. I think it was the right decision. You never know how serious these things are.
Combative player, Stephen Warnock had his fair share of knocks. Martin O'Neill looking on but not too concerned, because it looks like Warnock's going to come straight back on. Chelsea have the ball back, and where we go again after a couple of quiet minutes. Alex. Made his debut against Aston Villa, Alex, in a rather ill-fated match at Villa Park. One of the last for Jose Mourinho, that famous shot of certain Mr. Abramovich making his way up the steps, plus past Doug Ellis. Here's Carew, tackled well by Terry. Now Mikel, just trying to get something going here. Cole forced backwards, Deco. John Carew made a forward run there. Ray Wilkins won't like that. He'll be right on his case. And it's won Chelsea a free kick.
Oh, Steve Sidwell, it's the second tackle he's had in probably the last minute. The first one on floor at Malouda, solid challenge, and well, that one was deemed a free kick by referee Peter Walton. He'll be keen to impress Steve Sidwell after his stint at Chelsea. I'm sure he'll want to prove the hierarchy wrong to let him go.
Yes, didn't make much of an impression. Didn't really get the chance to be fair to him. Called Malouda in the way of it. Cole jumping and clashing with Warnock again. It's another Villa free kick. Cole doesn't agree, and Warnock's down again. Second bash in a matter of moments.
Well, I'd like to look at that again. I think that Joe Cole's entitled to go for the ball, and sure enough, his eyes were on the ball. Don't see nothing wrong with it.
No, it's just he jumped high and Warnock didn't, and that's why he knocked him over.
And two players going for the same ball collided into each other. Certainly not a foul. And, well, I think Peter Walton got that one wrong, although Stephen Warnock hobbling away might disagree.
Flick on from Malouda, finds Lampard. This is Anelka who has time to turn. 3 blue shirts up in support. Anelka might not need them. Lampard, well, it's always going to be a 50-50. That was Sidwell. Play on, says Peter Walton, as Sidwell and Lampard come together. And Lampard again. Overhit that one for Anelka.
Well, certainly the referee's not endearing himself to Chelsea fans. You can hear the booing all around the stadium. For me, that's a definite foul. Sidwell holding back Frank Lampard. There you see, arms all around him. The referee was probably 5 yards away from it. The whole of the ground could see it. And he's not endearing himself to Chelsea fans, that's for sure.
That's a bizarre non-decision there. He was right next to them. He had his arms around his neck. Anyway, Lampard did get the ball back straight away and misplaced the pass to Anelka. Here's Carew. Petrov. On Lahore in some space with his arms out stretched. Milner now. Bounces off Mikel. Chelsea do get that decision. And Mikel was caught. Play on. Good decision that time, Peter Walton. Malouda. And still Malouda. This is Lampard on the left boot this time. Collins in the way. Joe Cole picks up the bits. Ferreira wants it. Paulo Ferreira with the ball in. And it was dangerous. And Anelka was right there, but somehow couldn't get the crucial touch, could he?
Well, James Milner has got to his feet. Chelsea fans booing as Brad Friedel clears the ball upfield. Martin O'Neill on the edge of his technical area.
I think he's going to get a card here.
I think Stilian Petrov will get the card for his challenge on John Obi Mikel as they broke forward. There it is. It is Petrov for his challenge on Mikel. Referee Peter Walton played the advantage with Chelsea on the attack. I've got to say it, but a challenge probably worthy of a booking. But well, Aston Villa fans will be wanting to see this. Well, he did get caught. There was an arm. I don't think it was a deliberate elbow. I think John Obi Mikel stood his ground, but Milner did get caught.
Chelsea's elbows in the news a bit this week. Malouda and Sturridge both cleared by the FA of any wrongdoing. Unfortunate incidents at Fratton Park. There's Malouda, who was involved in one of them. He's got many things wrong this month, but he got that horribly wrong, and Villa have the ball. Here's Milner into Carew. He's able to turn. Maybe he didn't know it. Carew had disappeared from his back. Luke Young, Gabi Agbonlahor. Just found himself with a couple of threats to potentially deal with there. Sidwell, good ball. Ashley Young on the end of it. There goes Warnock. It's Ashley Young, always dangerous, and a dangerous ball in, and an equaliser for Aston Villa. Chelsea look across for a flag, it hasn't come, and the banging form, John Carew has another. 9 in 8 for him. Villa have equalised.
Well, it's a similar sort of goal in respects to what Chelsea have just scored the other end. A cross-come shot, a driven shot from the far side, driven cross it was from Ashley Young. Zhirkov should be on the half-turn. He had a little look there at John Carew. Didn't bother to mark him. Carew was unmarked on that far side. The ball went past Chelsea defenders. There it is, Carew tapping in at the far side. Well, Frank Lampard's got one similar goal for Chelsea. John Carew is now equalised for Aston Villa, and the hordes of Aston Villa fans away to our left are in good voice once again.
And here goes Deco. Well, now, was that a nudge? Well, he certainly lost his balance, whether that was his own doing or for a late challenge, but the ball across in the end found no one. Almost an instant response from Chelsea. Might still be. Lively match now with half an hour gone. Anelka trying to get turned. Chelsea ball.
Well, whatever we said about the first 10 minutes or so, Chelsea's got a goal. The game has certainly exploded into life here now. The referee has helped to add to that, I've got to say. Some strange decisions.
Malouda's ball in. Lampard under it again. Out comes Friedel with the fists. Well,
it's a good punch, Brad Friedel there. Frank Lampard thinking about going in on the far post once again. So Friedel, good goalkeeping, making his mind up, coming, getting a clean punch.
Zherkov has unquestionably caught alcohol there, and he's going to get a card to Yuri Zherkov. Just wonder, Kerry, whether you think Zherkov obviously didn't want to touch that ball coming in. He probably would have ended up putting it in his own net. Do you think he knew Carew was off his right shoulder there?
Well, I have a saying that yes, he did. If you see the build-up, he actually had a look at him. You talk about clearing it, should have swung his right foot for me, clearing it away. Had to get his body there. I've never seen a space score a goal. He had to mark the man. 3 or 4 yards off him, and John Carew tapping in. Proof is in the pudding. You've got to get your body between man and the ball, and I'm afraid it's got to go down to a mistake from Yuri Zherkov for me.
How costly will it be? There's still an hour of this game left, and from what we've seen, that will mean plenty more attacking. Probably from both sides, certainly from Chelsea. Malouda. Another one of those balls in, and again it causes problems. If in doubt, whack it hard and low towards the far post and something might happen. And it nearly happened again for Chelsea here.
Well, once again, Florent Malouda causing problems, drilling the ball across goal. I've got to say, there was roars as that ball. I thought it might have gone out, but Florent Malouda taking on Luke Young here, down this near side, getting the ball across, and Villa has to deal with it.
Deco, time to think about what to do. Not now, closed down by Villa midfielders. Anelka. Deco again, Anelka again, Deco again.
Got to say, it's unlucky. Just looking for the cheeky reverse pass, the run of Florent Malouda. Just a little bit too much weight on it from Deco. We've seen 1 or 2 wonderful passes from him already in this game.
Zherkov's ball, no flag against Malouda. Last touch was a Villa one. Did Friedel keep it in? No, he didn't. Another Chelsea corner.
Well, good interception there, Yuri Zherkov. Setting Florent Malouda away down the left, and once again, it does seem to me that our main source of attack is down this near side with Florent Malouda.
Well, he is in form, he's confident, and he's seen plenty of the ball today. Corner here. Terry, Alex, the usual suspects up. Joe Cole is loitering on the near post man of the 6-yard box, but actually closest blue shirt was John Carew, as Sidwell hammers it clear. Herrera will get it on the throw.
Got to say, Collins and Dunn and Co have dealt with Chelsea's corners quite well. They've got their head to, I think, virtually every ball.
Collins again there, challenging with Anelka. Malouda into Cole. Laid off for Deco. 4 blue shirts in the middle. Can Deco find one? No. Mikel to Lampard. Good thinking. And good feet from Deco.
Well, it's a challenge from Warnock on that far side on Deco. Deco did well initially to keep the ball in, but couldn't quite get his balance, and Warnock was allowed to make the challenge.
Petrov in no hurry. Aston Villa have been the draw specialists. A lot has been made of the fact that they're unbeaten in the calendar year of 2010 in the Premier League. They did, of course, lose the Carling Cup final, but most of those unbeaten games have been draws. It's hurt their chances about a month ago. They look the best position for the 4th place. Dropped down.
They're still going to believe they're very much in that battle for 4th place.
No question, they are right in it still. It's Tottenham in pole position at the moment. Have to see if Chelsea we can shatter those Spurs dreams, maybe beat them at the Lane on April 17th and then do them in the cup final in the middle of May. Dress rehearsal for their cup semi. Spurs are beating Portsmouth 1-0 at the moment. It's a Wembley weekend in 2 weeks' time. Manchester United away, of course, for Chelsea next weekend, but as Kerry said at the beginning, it's all very well looking at that one, and it is a 6-pointer of sorts, but it's no good if there aren't 3 points here. Would you go that far, Kerry? If Chelsea don't win this game, that it's looking more or less like no chance for the league, or not as far?
I wouldn't say no chance. Of course, you can never say that. Anything could happen. You look at the fixtures and you don't see Manchester United and indeed Arsenal dropping too many points. On a 1v1, you'd fancy Chelsea in pretty much all of their games as well. We are a strong side, but it's about the game on the day. And I think that if we were to lose here today, we're making it very tough for ourselves. That's for sure. But certainly wouldn't be out of it, and that'll be quickly pointed out, no doubt. But I think it is important we go into that Manchester United game at least a point behind them. That means winning today, and assuming they win as well a bit later on in the afternoon.
Yes. Now Milner, surely an arm. Yes, it was. Martin O'Neill doesn't think it was. Carlo Ancelotti does. They're only a few feet apart down there. No complaints from Milner. Ancelotti's a big fan of him. Here's Lampard, Anelka, and back to Lampard again, the target, lays it back for Joe Cole, it just wouldn't sit for him, that was the problem. It's unselfish play, wasn't it, from Lampard, and the ball was just up in the air and Joe couldn't hit it at that height.
I think the cross was just behind him, he couldn't get his head to turn the ball goalwards, we're just going to see it again. Nicolas Anelka teeing the ball up and Frank Lampard making his way back. It was just behind him, and I don't think he could get his body to head the ball goalwards, so he took the second option, and that was Joe Cole. But the pass to Joe wasn't quite how he would have wanted, and the chance was lost.
This would have needed a bit of a giraffe neck to get round that one and head it goalward. Just the wrong side of him. A game of fractions. And there goes Joe Cole. Anelka ran too early there. You could see it easy from up here, but
yes, that one's a mile off. That's when we see the replay, that won't even be close. I think that's a couple of yards. By the time Joe played that, it was at least a yard.
He's offside a lot, Nicolas Anelka. That's Man United. The Villa semi, Bolton here at the Bridge, Tottenham away, Stoke here, Liverpool away, and then Wigan at home to finish. I'd like to think Chelsea will dispense of Bolton, Stoke and Wigan in the 3 home games after this one, Kerry. So Villa clearly the toughest opponent here. We have another look at that goal. Not sure what that came off in the end. But Carew with a very similar one at the other end, and that's why we're 1 each. Strangely similar goals actually, weren't they? Just hit one hard and low towards the far post and see what happens. Deco is going to be spoken to by Peter Walton here, and it's a yellow card. And Milner down again.
Well, I'd like to see the challenge again for Deco getting booked for a tackle. A rare occurrence. Well, I'm not sure that was a booking, but well, not known for his tackling, Deco.
No, but he is known for his fouls. He came here, Porto and Barcelona, he was their most booked player season on season, but mostly because he's not very good at tackling. He's a bit of a Paul Scholes in that regard.
I think his foot was high when he went in looking at the replay from that angle, and I think that was the reason he's probably been booked.
That one's easy for Cech, who, rather strangely, though he's had to pull the ball out of his own net, hasn't actually had to make any saves of note in the match, has he? Apart from that, a couple of really routine catches from fairly sloppy corners as Zhirkov comes forward, closed down by Agbonlahor, fired that one in on Malouda. Here's Petrov. Deco does his bit, gets it back from Mikel, and there's Ferreira. Rather snazzy boots for a defensively minded right back. Joe Cole, lovely touch, so nearly worked for Anelka. That's why fans like Joe Cole, those little moments, especially when they come off. 5 minutes left of the half as we stand. Arsenal haven't scored at Birmingham either. As the ball forward, looking for Malouda. Was there any form of nudge? He's not really appealing, and nor any of the other Chelsea players. That's what you tend to look for.
Well, the ball played in behind. Florent Malouda making the run. No, I'm not going to say that was a penalty. Bit of a shout from Chelsea fans, but certainly I don't agree that was a penalty, and I think Peter Walton's got that one right. To be fair, Florent Malouda had a look at the referee, but without making too much of a exaggerated appeal.
Good and bad news for Carlo Ancelotti this week. Relief after the wobble ended with that big win at Pompey. Tempered rather by the injury to Carvalho. Clears ball, just a touch over hit, and Agbonlahor clears.
Three minutes left on the clock, plus a bit of stoppage time, Ben, and well, I think both managers will have something to think about during the half-time interval. Chelsea, for me, have been the better side, the more progressive side, but Aston Villa will be quite happy with the way things stand at the moment.
There's been a fair amount of creativity, I think you'd say, from the likes of Cole and Deco, Malouda, Lampard. Ferreira with the ball in this time. Malouda again for Zhirkov, and he was caught surely by Collins. Yes, he was. Penalty to Chelsea. There's the penetration you want.
Well, I'm just saying Chelsea have been the better side in this first half. It's nothing more than I've got to say I think they deserve. Peter Walton's got that spot on. Florent Malouda with the back heel. Yuri Zhirkov just getting there before James Collins it was. Just looking at it. Once the defender puts the foot in, minimal of contact, I've got to say, but I think it's the right decision.
Brilliant from Malouda again, who's making it happen week in, week out, as is Frank Lampard. He's already scored once. This would be a perfect time to get his second. Lampard against Friedel. Goal! Hammered in! Top corner, you're not saving that. Relief for Carlo Ancelotti. His team talk's going to change a bit now. 2 for Lampard, 2 for Chelsea.
Well, goals change games, and Frank smashed that one in. He knew what it meant to go in at half-time with the lead, and it's in this crucial game. He wasn't going to make no mistakes from the spot. I'm sure now Frank Lampard is going to be looking at a hat-trick. I think, would a hat-trick take him to 20 goals for the season, Ben?
It would indeed. 19, 20 before the end of March. Hammered, look at that. No chance for Friedel, even though he went in the right direction. Doesn't often go high, actually, Frank Lampard. Glad he did. If he'd gone low on that side, Friedel would have probably saved it.
What was we saying earlier on? People intimating Frank Lampard having a poor season?
On a hat-trick before half-time here. 19 goals for the season, and now just 1 behind Bentley and Osgood.
Well, it'd be absolutely fantastic to equal them two greats. A hat-trick in this particular game sets Manchester United up lovely.
Arsenal still drawing 0-0 as we speak at Birmingham. United playing later.
Just the 2 minutes of stoppage time as Chelsea have a free kick on that far side, and I'm sure players on the field will be more than happy to take this lead into the dressing room. See out these 2 minutes. There you see the penalty. Not the most animated man ever on the touchlines, but I've always said you don't have to be animated to be a good manager.
Clenched fist will do it. Done clearing under pressure from Joe Cole.
Got to say, Frank's got 2 goals, but once again, not overstating the case. I think Florent Malouda has had a large part to play in this first half performance, involved in both goals.
Yes, with Anelka not scoring, that pressure had been on Drogba and Lampard every week to be the two that produce, and Malouda now chipping in with goals and assists every week, every match it seems. Just sort of relieve that burden a little bit. It doesn't always have to be Didier or Frank.
Certainly the 2 goals in midweek were put away emphatically against Portsmouth. 2 wonderful left-footed strikes.
He's got 11 for the season now. That's good going, especially considering he wasn't always first choice at the beginning of it. Here's Lampard. His half so far. Chelsea happy to knock it about now and kill off what remains. Two eyes on Peter Walton. Stephen Warnock lets it go. Martin O'Neill, who, as Carew was saying, would have been happy so long ago with that 1-1 scoreline.
I think he would have been happier with a 1-1 scoreline, that's for sure. And, you know, to go into half-time, I think 45 minutes, and he'd surely take a draw away from Stamford Bridge. But when you look at his team's overall performance, and you know, they haven't really tested Petr Cech as the half-time whistle is blown by Peter Walton. I think Martin O'Neill will have 1 or 2 things to say, and certainly you're going to see a change of shape in the second half as he bids to claw this deficit back.
Pair of goals for Frank Lampard, 18 and 19 for the season. One from John Carew in the middle, a lively half, a decent performance, and the end of it, a decent scoreline too. Can the Blues keep the lead this time? That's the question. At the break at the Bridge, it's Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 1. Having a look at those goals during the half-time break, and obviously slightly fault, I have to say, for the Carew one, but well done to him for continuing the run and winning the penalty.
I think he'll be well pleased that he's got an assist for what could possibly be the winning goal, especially after his involvement in the equaliser.
Last man out, Pedro Philippou, with in front of him Martin O'Neill. John Terry with a header away. Sidwell back in, Terry away again, Sidwell again, head tennis between those two. Terrible touch from Warnock, presents it to Anelka now. Joe Cole, slightly behind him, but he's got it back in his stride now. And he's around Warnock. Oh, and he's done brilliantly to find Anelka. Superb play from Joe Cole.
Well, I think Nicolas Anelka is looking to the referee's assistant on this near side, protesting it could have been a foul, but you're quite right. Superb play from Joe Cole. Ashley Young tracking back, beating Stephen Warnock, getting the other side. Anelka just looking to get ahead of Brad Friedel. There you see the appeal. Not quite sure what it's for. Maybe he feels he was fouled by Friedel.
He was going at pace at the byline there, Joe Cole. He did really well to get that cross in. This is Milner. Thankfully his first touch was heavy and Alex smashes it away all the way.
Not wishing to be a weatherman, but it's certainly gone pretty gloomy all round here, Ben. Looks like we might be in for a spot of rain.
Temperature's dropped a couple of degrees. I doubt they'll feel it out there though. This is high pressure, high intensity stuff at the business end of a campaign. So much riding on every game for both of these two clubs. It just seems whichever Premier League match you look at the moment, it seems to be massive one way or another, whether it's Hull and West Ham and Co at the bottom, or the race for fourth place, or the race for the title, of course. Sidwell slips, doesn't get the pass right for Young, but so does Paulo Ferreira slip, and Young is gone here. Was there a tug? Well, Villa waited for it, and they got their decision.
I think it could well be a booking for Paulo Ferreira. You can't pull someone back, and I think he compounded his original mistake with the tug. He's complaining to referee Peter Walton, but I say it was definitely a foul, and it was definitely a booking.
It's a slip and a shirt pull, and now an Aston Villa free kick. Young will take. I know he's got the good delivery normally, not this time thankfully. Easy for Czech. Straight at him, nowhere near a claret and blue shirt. Deco did well to get there ahead of Warnock, and surely he was fouled. Not given again by Walton. Deco's had a cracking game. Solid header from Ferreira this time. Mikel. Poor. Straight to Petrov. Bonlahor either missed it or let it go. Ferreira had to get that one right. Local judges the bounce well. Milner doesn't.
Well, it's a catalogue of errors. I mean, Paulo Ferreira is getting caught up in missed kicks, missed headers and everything, and he's just having one of their moments since the booking. Time to calm down as soon as you have the throw. I think it's important from Chelsea's perspective. They don't sit back, Bennett. You know, the third goal is something that gives them a bit of a cushion. I like to see them go on and try and get it rather than sit back and see this one out. So I do believe that Villa will start to press, certainly in the latter stages of this half.
Already here by Frank Lampard. One dribbled over the line and one flew across it. Cherkov coming forward again. Malouda, first time into Anelka. Dunn got there first. On the back of Bonlahor. I'm not sure. Did he make any contact there, Terry? Perhaps he did.
Well, Peter Walton's 5 yards away. He says he did. Here we're going to see a replay. Yes, I think there was some sort of contact. But
Bonlahor was waiting for it, wasn't he? He put the brakes on. He knew Alex would be up the back of him. Young again, who was wasteful last time. It's a bit more dangerous. Terry got the head there. Warnock. Not one of those goal-scoring defenders, thankfully, from Chelsea's point of view.
Well, he didn't have a lot of confidence when he attacked that ball, Stephen Warnock. Decent delivery, good header from John Terry. Fell to Warnock. I think Bonlahor wanted a bit of it as well, but Warnock coming onto the ball. And there's the answer.
Even a good striker, that would have been hard to keep down. Stephen Warnock's only scored one goal this season, that was in the Carling Cup. Defending certainly more his game. Not dissimilar to Paulo Ferreira in terms of his prolific nature of scoring, one for the season. Lampard. Just the 19 for him and counting. And a hat-trick, of course, here. Yuri Zhirkov. Apparently, the last touch was off him, not Young.
Yes, I think it's right. Zhirkov thought he'd done the hard work, got round Young, but Young got a foot in, and the ball definitely came off Zhirkov. You see it, just his left foot.
Good defending, Luke Young. He's found himself a bit of a victim of Martin O'Neill's settled side policy. He got in as a left-back last season, playing ahead of Nicky Shorey. Hasn't really been able to get past Carlos Cuellar this season, although he is today in for Cuellar. More orthodox right-back. See moving it around Zhirkov and then Malouda. Did Collins catch him? Yes, he did. He's just sharp at the moment, Florian Malouda. He's just getting to things that bit quicker than he used to, and it's making things happen for him and for Chelsea.
Well, as I've said before, I think he's been excellent for the last 6 weeks, a month. I don't think he's been poor all season. I think he's been pretty consistent when he's played for the majority of the season, but I think he's been in very good form in the last 6 weeks.
Exchanging passes with Lampard there, who looks for Anelka, who's not going to get round James Collins, is he? Well, he doesn't get around him, but he makes him make the error and make the final touch, and Chelsea have a corner.
The thing is, that's the sort of thing what every Chelsea player needs to be doing. Nicolas Anelka there, chasing what is deemed a lost cause, putting pressure on the defender, and you just might get something out of it. And on this occasion, he's won Chelsea a corner.
They had blue shirts up. They'll take another one from this side now. Anelka and Alex close to finding themselves on the end of that one, and they'll stay up for this. Lampard takes. Didier Drogba, the substitute, controlled it, and Joe Cole takes the throw. Good cross, and Malouda jumped and got a piece of it. Just a bit too high for him. Sidwell beating Alex to that one. A little bit of sustained time in Villa's final third here.
Well, they certainly appear to be going for the third goal, not sitting back.
He looks happy enough, Didier Drogba. Carlo Ancelotti, no need to call on him yet. It's a sloppy one. Terry in ahead of Agbon Lahore. Ferreira with a slightly dodgy back pass. I don't know whether he knew Milner was there or not, but he didn't get much on it, did he? But Cech was alert enough.
No, just a little scare. Hearts in the mouth time for Chelsea fans. Just as we're going through players who've been playing well of late. John Terry's having a particularly good game today up against John Carew. I know Carew's got the goal, but Terry for me has made a couple of real crucial interceptions and tackles.
He might be called into question here again. Well, he won't, because the cross is a poor one.
Gabby Agbon Lahore has been playing up front. Martin O'Neill was always going to change the shape of his side from the first half, and certainly the last 5 minutes or so, Agbon Lahore is playing alongside John Carew in a more orthodox 4-4-2 for Villa.
Cole and Deco combining well, and that's a lovely ball from Deco. Yuri Zhirkov, Malouda in the middle, and he's not going to miss. The way he's playing, that was nailed on. 3-1, there's the cushion. Florian Malouda just can't stop at the moment. That's a dozen goals for him this season, and Chelsea have a 2-goal lead.
That was an absolutely brilliant goal. Wonderful work through the midfield, intricate passing involving the three midfield players of Deco, Joe Cole and John Obi Mikel. Wonderful pass from Deco, releasing Zhirkov down the left-hand side. He's more than made up for his mistake in the first half. a hand in the Chelsea's third goal. 2 assists for Zhirkov, and a brilliant finish from Florent Malouda. And as you've already said, the form is in. He's thinking about goals, not only his performances. There it is, the third goal that Chelsea wanted, and the cushion is there for Carlo Ancelotti.
Well, one scrappy one at the far post, one penalty. That was a beauty. What a gorgeous weight of pass from Deco. He's had a really good game. Just perfect, wasn't it? Zhirkov didn't even have to break his stride. It was just absolutely spot on.
But everything about it was right. The pass, the movement, Joe Cole came back to help out the midfield players who were playing tight passes in and around the Aston Villa midfield to be able to release Deco. He played the perfect pass. Wonderful cross from Zhirkov, because it was important to get the finish, the end product on the good approach play. And sure enough, Florent Malouda provided the perfect finish.
And here he comes again. Player playing with real confidence at the moment, Malouda. It's such a marked contrast to a year or two ago. Many of Chelsea fans were wondering why the Blues have parted with 15 million quid for his services, and you're seeing it now. Can't be player of the year in France and be a mug, that's for sure. Here's Joe Cole. Dunn got there first, Cole dived in a bit, and Dunn is still up. And that's fallen to Agbonlahor. Now Ferreira, going to have to be very careful indeed. I don't think Peter Walton, or is he? No, I don't think he's going for his pocket again. But that came off, I think, John Terry, fell in the path of Agbonlahor.
Well, he was getting back. Agbonlahor's got his body across him. I think maybe momentum from Ferreira took him into Agbonlahor, who had slowed up. It was a foul, and you're quite right. It would have been unfortunate, I do feel, if he was to collect a second yellow for that particular challenge, but shouldn't test Peter Walton too many times, because on the yellow he wouldn't stop from getting the second one out, and that would mean a departure for Paulo Ferreira.
And a ban for Man United, and Chelsea have reserve defenders in the likes of Sam Hutchinson and Jeffrey Brumer and Patrick Van Aanholt. We also have to defend here, well, presently. A free kick in very tasty territory. Ashley Young leaves it for Milner. Mikel and the Wall do their job. There's half an hour to play. Chelsea have a 2-goal lead.
Well, you said about defenders and possibilities. Jeffrey Brumer is one of the Chelsea players who has been warming up for the last 5 or 10 minutes alongside Didier Drogba and Michael Ballack.
Lovely touch from Anelka. Zhirkov again, enjoying himself now. Lovely move, and Zhirkov still going. Well, that must be a penalty too. It is. And what colour's the card going to be? It's only yellow. Frank Lampard's going to have a chance for a hat-trick here. Yuri Zhirkov to get left back. His left wing today.
Well, he's had a hand in 3 of the goals, and Peter Walton has produced a yellow card, quite right. James Collins was on the scene as well, so he wasn't the last man. Done the man that time, conceding the penalty. But once again, a wonderful 4-man passing move that's created the opportunity for Frank Lampard to become Chelsea's joint 3rd leading goal scorer of all time.
Lampard versus Friedel again, and it's in! It's a hat-trick for Lampard. 20 goals for the season, and he joins Peter Osgood and Roy Bentley, all-time 3rd in the Chelsea goal-scoring charts. It's a staggering achievement, and there's only Bobby Tambling and Kerry Dixon to go.
Well, warm applause for an absolutely fantastic achievement from Frank Lampard. 150 goals. Wonderful servant to the club. Wonderful day to do it in front of your own crowd. And I'll be looking over my shoulder here on in at every goal Frank scores.
Changes for Aston Villa. That's the personal achievement. From a team point of view, it's 4-1, it's game over even with half an hour.
Certainly is. There's substitutes going on for Aston Villa. Carew has gone off.
Nathan Delfonso coming on.
I think Chelsea will make 1 or 2 as well, Ben, now. 4-1. There need to be some comeback kings, Aston Villa, to turn this one around.
Downing for Petrov is the other. The league top scorers are flying at the moment. Already the best haul we've ever managed in the Premier League, and 4 more to add to it here. 5 at Pompey in midweek. People said that was just Pompey. Well, might be about to do the same to Aston Villa, and why not? And it might happen right now. Anelka. Well, Malouda, Zherkov and Lampard, between them, have done it all. We'll have to give Deco a big pat on the back for the pass earlier, but the 3 of them have been involved in everything, haven't they? Yuri Zherkov flying down that left-hand side today.
They certainly have been involved in everything. It's been an excellent performance all round. Only 63 minutes on the clock. Got the feeling there's a few more goals in this game yet, as the clouds continue to darken, got to say, around Stamford Bridge. More so for Aston Villa.
Much more for Aston Villa. It's altogether brighter for those in blue. Ferreira's one. A soft free kick down there. Also, just thinking, Kerry, even at 4-1, that's good. If it got beyond that, could it have a little bit of a psychological thing for the Cup semi in 2 weeks if Chelsea give Villa an absolute battering here?
Well, I think that would be a totally different game. You know,
it's only a couple of weeks away.
Well, Martin O'Neill certainly have something to think about this game, but you know, Chelsea still have got players to come back in. Maybe Aston Villa have got 1 or 2 changes they can make as well for that game. It's going to be a different game, neutral ground. But it's a big statement by Chelsea. More importantly, got to say, Ben, is that the goal difference at the top of the Premier League is the important thing as well. 3 clear goals. Manchester United, you've got it to do later on this evening, and as I say that, you see at Birmingham, Arsenal are still drawing. So things going Chelsea's way. There's been so many twists and turns in this Premier League battle this season, you just wonder whether it's going to swing back Chelsea's way this afternoon.
It's just so tough to call, isn't it? Anelka. There's Alfonso. Scored a goal once here for the youth team in the Youth Cup, and he's still running on here and going very well and taking on John Terry now. Nathan Delfonso, brilliant block by the Chelsea captain. Oh, and he comes away with it too.
Absolutely fantastic, John Terry, and there's a challenge. Absolute. Listen, he's been magnificent all afternoon. You know, you haven't noticed because of the performances of the Decos, the Frank Lampards, the Maloudas, but I've said John Terry's had a wonderful game. Standing ovation all around us for John Terry and his commitment to this football club.
The 5-goal haul in midweek brought Chelsea level with Manchester United in the goal difference department. But all today, very handy. And the best part of half an hour to try and add to it. I'm sure that the goals against column doesn't increase. That goes up late, and Anelka, the assistant, just making sure the ball was going his way, and he was off.
Chelsea quite content to just pass the ball around, Ben. And, no better team at it when you're 4-1 up.
There's Pereira, cuts it back for Lampard, who lays it off. One more, and one more goal. It's Malouda again. Frank Lampard didn't have to pass, but he's got his hat-trick, and now Malouda's on one.
Absolutely fantastic play, passing Aston Villa to death, Chelsea. Unselfish Frank Lampard. Florent Malouda with a wonderful fit. There must have been about, I'd say 10-12 passes to that goal. There's some superb goals here this afternoon from Chelsea. Frank Lampard totally unselfish, and a brilliant finish from Florent Malouda with his unfavoured right foot.
This is sensational. 5 goals against a beleaguered and battered Portsmouth team is one thing. 5 against Aston Villa, who have the joint best defensive record in the Premier League with Man United before today. They are getting battered here.
Battered is the word you use, Ben, and well, I dare say Martin O'Neill will be thinking something similar.
And there's 20 minutes left. Who could ever have imagined Chelsea would have 5 by 68 minutes in this game? A lot of people writing a lot of things on a lot of back pages following the disappointing games against Inter and Blackburn. 10 goals in 3 days. Change those headlines. Here's Anelka. Might be 11. It's Anelka! Good save, Friedel.
Well, I suppose as centre forward or main striker, Nicolas Anelka will be feeling about time I got myself on this score sheet. Great piece of skill to step inside, forced the save from Brad Friedel. It's always hard when you're the main striker. You go home and you say, we won 5-1, the next question is, did you score? And the answer is no. People will be asking why.
If you're getting greedy, you'd like to see a goal for Joe Cole and one for Nicolas Anelka, and then it's more fluid football here. Lampard has got his wires crossed with Anelka in that run. We'll forgive him.
Where's your money going to be now? The Florent Malouda second hat-trick in this game, or a single goal for Nicolas Anelka? Maybe even a goal for substitute Drogba.
Well, I don't think they'll need him now. They are going to bring Michael Ballack on. Happy Bay going to be asked to help shore up the defence. Good luck. Here's Warner. Aston Villa actually have the ball. Hasn't happened much in the last 15 minutes. Downing. New West Ham in disguise is the chant from the Chelsea fans. But the kit's the same. And the beating's an even worse one. That was 4-1, wasn't it, West Ham here?
Yes, they've gone 1 goal better this afternoon at the moment. Now Villa are going to make their substitution.
It's had Bonahor coming off. He had a hurt toe before this game. He was a doubt, and Happy Bay's going to come on for him.
And Stephen Warnock will be asked to play in a more advanced role. Ashley Young going up alongside Del Funeso. Just checking the pronunciation, Ben.
Apparently the E's silent. Makes it easier for us. On comes Happy Bay. And Deco getting a standing ovation. He's had a super game today. Michael Ballack's going to come on for him, Kerry.
Yes, he's been brilliant, involved in a lot of the goals, if not all of them. Deco, great performance from him. Many predict end of season departure for Deco, but well, he's had a few good games and arguably none better than today.
For a bunch of ageing old-timers, as some people would have you believe this Chelsea squad are. They're doing all right, aren't they? They look quite athletic. Ballack on the side of 30. Malouda's about to be 30. Past 31. In from Milner. Pereira lets it bounce. Here's Joe Cole. Able to play with freedom, but not too much, as Cole plays it back to Cech, who didn't really get hold of the clearance on his wrong foot. There's Delfonso, deflection! Could have gone anywhere. Petr Cech was wandering to his left-hand post. The deflection took it just wide of the right.
John Carew had a word with Joe Cole there, who walked away, getting caught. Started a bit of a procedure. Call it a procedure, a comical procedure off of Delfonso, very nearly getting a second for Villa.
There's the corner, dealt with the near post by the hat-trick man, Frank Lampard. A little cheer here around Stamford Bridge because Stoke have scored against West Ham. It's a tough one, that, for Chelsea fans, because, well, Franco Zola, Steve Clark, really under the cost there. By the time some of these fans who are watching this game live get home and maybe watch this back on the telly, they might not be in the job anymore, those two. Downing. Milner kept it in. Habib Bey. Collins, who left West Ham, of course, to come here at the beginning of the season, but he's glad he did now. More neat play from Chelsea. Joe Cole just let it get ahead of him there, and Delfonso has Luke Young up with him. It's a poor ball, the flag's up anyway.
I just wonder whether they'll take Frank off, give him a break. Scored 3 goals, Chelsea 5-1 up. Just wonder whether they'll give him a break.
Well, as we look at his penalties, there are going to be a couple more changes. Kalou and Van Aanholt are going to be coming on for Chelsea here.
That means a rest for Didier Drogba this afternoon.
Well, he wasn't 100%, so he wasn't going to be used unless he was needed. I think at 5-1 we can safely say he's not going to be needed. I've got a feeling, it's got a flash of the officials board down there, that it's going to be Zhirkov for Van Aanholt, a straight swap at left back. Let's see. First up, Joe Cole for Salomon Kalou. Standing ovations everywhere today, Kerry.
Well, it's been a great performance and everyone's been involved in it, and Salomon Kalou comes on, sporting a new haircut.
Straight swap at left back, Yuri Zhirkov, who might consider himself culpable for John Carew's goal, but certainly a flying assister for the ones at the other end, and it's a home debut and a welcome to Stamford Bridge for Patrick Van Aanholt. Young left back who he got from PSV 3 summers ago.
I wasn't going to be a weatherman early on, but I couldn't get that dark without the rains coming. Sure enough, it's coming down at the moment.
Thankfully, it's been raining goals for Chelsea today. Ballack's touch was a neat one. Look at the way Chelsea are popping it round here. Confidence is a funny thing, isn't it? Here's Anelka. And on the back to tackle. Still 15 minutes left here. There's a contest, it's over. But you mentioned the goal difference, Kerry, and people tend to dismiss it, but it can be important. It could easily be important this season with three teams so tightly together, bunched like that.
Well, many people are looking at the possibility of everything being all square. Goal difference with 4+ this afternoon will go a long way to making sure that doesn't happen.
Sidwell, super block. Michael Ballack down there.
Michael Ballack, the man sliding in.
And the heavens have absolutely opened in some style here. That is a good block from Ballack on Sidwell. It is bucketing down. It's an easy catch for Pettichuk.
Windy as well, swirling. You can see the rain being blown around everywhere. From Chelsea's point of view, 5-1 up. They won't worry too much. It's the last thing Aston Villa wanted, to get soaking on top of the battering you've already said they've had.
Just thinking about that. Come south, they're absolutely outplayed on the field. It's a really humiliating scoreline for Martin O'Neill and his side. This. Now they're getting drenched too. Beat Kalou in the reverse fixture these seasons. They had met before actually as bosses of AC Milan and Celtic in the Champions League. The rain's coming through the roof above us on the gantry here and through the torrential downpour. There's a former England cricket captain there. I think that's Nasser Hussain, but the monsoon's in the way. Quite hard to tell.
And it gives you some idea of just how the heavens have opened. We're going to be requiring an engineer pretty soon if it continues. Hole in the roof, soaking everything. I'm just going to put my coat on.
Here's Luke Young with the throw. Everyone getting drenched. And it's not often I'd say this, but I think pretty much everyone in the ground might be quite happy if the full-time whistle just went now. 1 or 2 t-shirts, 1 or 2 brollies, and up go the hoods. Villa fans don't tend to have much joy here.
Well, I think the majority of Villa fans, certainly those in the lower shed, going to be leaving.
Warnock's cross, downing over the far end. It's going to be a Villa corner. The last touch will come off Lampard.
Well, there you see it, people at the front. Seats vacant, everyone under cover at the back. Chelsea at the moment defending a corner themselves.
They've not seen their team win here since May 2002. That was a week after that awful cup final defeat to Arsenal for Chelsea. Downing's corner over Collins' head. This is Milner. John Terry not letting Ashley Young pass, but Milner lets the ball pass through. A lot of good performances in blue today.
Tough call to pick a man of the match. Frank will invariably get it for his 3 goals. And the actual achievement of what he's done today, 150 goals for me, making Chelsea's greatest ever midfield player.
Praise indeed, and rightly so. And as for his team, going from strength to strength, which ahead of Manchester United is good to see. This is Kalou, bending one and only just wide.
Once again, a wonderful passing move. Paulo Ferreira down the right-hand side, finding Salomon Kalou, cuts back, just trying to bend the ball inside the right hand upright with his left foot.
Ashley Young. Downing with a bit of space. Taking Patrick Van Arnholt. He's now got Habib Bey on the overlap to deal with, and Alex does well to leave it for Petr Cech there.
Good communication between the big centre-back and the goalkeeper. Cech down, gathering the ball safely. Surface has become skiddy with the rain.
Ball through for Anelka. No flag. Still Anelka. He wants that goal. He might have to lay it off. He does. Kalou! It's 6! This is fantastic. There's been a lot of unselfish play today. And I can't remember the last time I saw this many standing ovations around Stamford Bridge, but they are thoroughly deserved. Villa are being humiliated.
Absolutely. Wonderful pass to start that off from Frank Lampard. Bit of a doubt as to whether Nicolas Anelka was onside or not. Lampard we see here playing the ball through. There's a few appeals from Villa people, but great skill from Anelka. Dunn and Collins both diving in, setting up Salomon Kalou. The low right-footed shot, just inside Brad Friedel's right hand upright, perfectly placed from Kalou. Well, the game's not over yet. The heavens have opened up. It's 6-1, and there's still 6.5 minutes plus stoppage time. I wouldn't bet against the 7th the way this game's going.
The local team Luton managed 7 by half an hour into their game with Yedding today, but I think this might rank as a slightly higher achievement at this level. Free-scoring Luton Town and free-scoring Chelsea. 5 at Portsmouth and 6 now. But lots of good news from St Andrews. Late on, Arsenal have got a goal against Birmingham. So perhaps it's going to finish as you were. It's going to the wire. He's going to be nervous. We're all going to be nervous. It's so tight.
Well, we thought there'd be more twists and turns. I think this Premier League battle has got a few twists and turns still yet to be played.
We just know it's going to go to the final day. Strangely enough, the final day, actually all 3 sides have what look like on paper pretty easy home games, and the penultimate, all 3 sides have pretty tough looking away games. Chelsea and Anfield.
Well, they don't come any tougher than that. Certainly not for the Blues. I'd say that's one of our least successful places.
Two preludes to FA Cup semi-finals. Martin O'Neill will hope for a change of fortune in 2 weeks' time. Tottenham beating Portsmouth by a couple of goals in the league match there. Chelsea beating Villa here. Chelsea Spurs Cup final would be tasty, wouldn't it? What a way to end the season. Here's Ferreira. That got a corner off Richard Dunn. Well, everyone thought so by the assistant, and Paolo, the 6-1 lead, isn't going to complain.
As I say, on the cup final, 2 statements made today, but there'll be 2 different games in a couple of weeks' time at Wembley.
Into the final 4 minutes, here's Sidwell, an unhappy return to Stamford Bridge for him. Young. The other Young. 81 and counting. That's Chelsea's goal tally for the Premier League this season. It's already better than any other Premier League year, even the 93 points for the title. Here's Ballack. Can it get better? From distance, off Collins, Chelsea corner.
Well, it was worth a strike from Michael Ballack. Skinny surface, just took a deflection. Chelsea have the opportunity to take the corner, and probably the men of the moment have both gone over there. Frank Lampard, as usual, getting his a warm ovation, and Florent Malouda over there as well. Magnificent once again today. And in fact, it looks like Malouda is going to be the man to take the left-footed outswinger.
Yes, that's a bit of a tactical switch of late. There's been more outswingers than in. Something they're trying. Habib Bey with the header. Alfonso likewise. Lampard. Audacious.
Well, you just wonder what Frank was trying there. You know, when he normally brings the right foot back, there's a blockbuster coming goalwards, but just went for the dink, the chip. And whether it was a pass to Alex, a little bit too firm, but it was comfortable for Friedel in the end.
I think on a hat-trick, having got it, he was going for goal there. He had a little space of trying those lobs early season, last season. Scored a couple too. Ashley Young to Stuart Downing. Villa have numbers forward here. Can they have the final say? Or they might do. Delfonso under pressure from Alex and Lampard. It's back with Downing. Terry's there to head away.
There's not much going to get past John Terry this afternoon. He seems to be in one of them moods. Another fantastic performance from him. As Chelsea go in search of a seventh.
Anelka finds Ballack. Malouda on the far post wants it. It's Ballack. And it's blocked.
Alex conceding the free kick on this near side, upending Ashley Young. He's ready to get any bookings late on in this game, in a game that, well, it's well and truly sewn up. Van Arnold conceding a free kick, which James Milner and co will be anxious to have. Ashley Young over there as well. Stuart Downing will fancy it from the left-footed position. I think the ball's being handed to Stuart Downing. It will surely only be a consolation. Well, it will be only a consolation if they were to score it.
20 seconds left in normal time. Downing is there. So too is James Collins.
Maybe Collins has got something we don't know.
No, it's Downing. It's comfortable again for Czech, who has led in a goal today. Not that he could do anything about it. He's not had much else to do though. 4 added minutes. Aston Villa won't be too thrilled at that. Chelsea will try and use it to grab a 7th. They might get it here. Malouda still on the hat-trick. Past Kalou. Lampard! This is ridiculous! 151!
Well, you don't say it easy. Peter Osgood, Roy Bentley, wonderful greats of Chelsea Football Club. Been passed by Frank Lampard, a true great himself. A 4th goal for Lampard. 7 goals for Chelsea. History being made this afternoon by a wonderful midfield player and a team playing at the top of their form.
I cannot imagine what the odds would have been before this game on a 7-1 win, or for Frank Lampard to get 4 of them. That is extraordinary. It's a day to remember for Frank Lampard and Chelsea fans. It's certainly one to forget for Aston Villa. They'll have to try and use this as some sort of motivation for the Cup semi. Well, he was always going to beat it. He was always going to beat them this season. But I don't think we expected him to do it with 4 goals in one game today. It's amazing stuff from a player who continues to set standards and then beat them. And it might be more here with Anelka, and Dunn is across.
Well, when Nicolas Anelka was going through there, Martin O'Neill put his head down. The ball finally getting cleared on that far side, but well, but he can't wait to get inside. Chelsea once again on the attack on that far side. Florent Malouda playing out to Michael Ballack. Chelsea playing intricate passes in and around the Aston Villa penalty area, but finally the ball is cleared, but not for too long. Kalou winning it back.
Here's Ashley Young. What must the Villa players and fans make of this? Just a bad day at the office, overwhelmed by a Chelsea team that suddenly has found confidence in spades.
Well, the majority of Chelsea fans that are still left, I'm sure, would wish Nicolas Anelka a goal in this romp. Whether or not there's enough time remains to be seen.
Boring Chelsea is the ironic chant. I don't think so. There is Anelka.
Got to say, Anelka's led the line well today. He does play a different game when he's playing as the lone striker, it's got to be said.
Milner, Delfonso, Peter Walton yet to put Villa out of their misery. It's a Villa free kick for what it's worth. Happy days indeed. There's Milner, just waiting for the misery to end. Are you watching Manchester United?
Well,
Chelsea are back.
What a way to set up next week's encounter before we meet Villa again at Wembley in 2 weeks' time.
7-1. History for Frank Lampard and for Chelsea. He becomes the third highest scorer in club history, and the Blues go back to the top of the table. Probably Kerry only for a few hours. We'll have to wait and see, but ahead of Old Trafford, this is some statement.
Well, it's a big statement, and we've just heard the roars all around. Stamford Bridge has the Premier League swung back our way. Arsenal are held to a draw by Birmingham, who have scored a late goal. Not confirmed whether it's finished just yet, but it's gone through on the bottom, so as well as giving the players a standing ovation, news is through that Birmingham are drawing with Arsenal. Has the Premier League taken another twist today? We asked the question during commentary. Well, let's hope so.
Thank you, Kevin Phillips. Thank you, Frank Lampard. 12 goals in 3 days for Chelsea. 5 against Portsmouth is one thing. 7 more today. 4 for Frank Lampard, 2 for Malouda, 1 for Kalou. Didn't even need Didier Drogba. They'll meet again in 2 weeks' time at Wembley. It won't be as easy as this. It can't be. We can hope, if not expect. Do not adjust your sets. Chelsea 7, Aston Villa 1.